But once again, this is game number 1 of Epic versus Ernst and Young for the After Hours Gaming League round of 8 playoffs. And it's a little bit different in terms of team layout than you would normally see with, or more so on the Ernst and Young side, I would say, with the Lane Nautilus and Lane Galileo. I've seen both Lane Nautilus and Lane Galileo, never in the same game, of course. They're going to have a really tanky setup here, and it's going to be hard to deal with him, especially with Soraka Hills. And Corki has great escape, so they're not necessarily going to have the easiest time getting to Corki. The danger that I see for Epic is that Corki can get very strong and do a lot of damage to these guys. And so they do want to focus him down first. Unfortunately, you have to go through a new deer. You have to go through a Galileo taunt. And you've got to deal with somebody hooking you and locking you down with every auto... Well, not every auto attack, but its first auto attack. So that's a lot of stuff to deal with. And these guys are just going to have to play really smart with their engages and make sure that they don't get caught in a situation where Corki is able to just burst them all down. And I don't know. It's really just gonna come down to how they play. I think that if Epic can keep themselves ahead early on and not let Ernst and Young get a lead, that's gonna probably be their best bet. Now I could be wrong on my assumption of the team comp. I just feel like Ernst and Young has the stronger team comp because of the strong front line and Corki back line. But you know, you never know. You've got a Shyvana. She can potentially jump over and make a big play. You've got Janna with the ability to reset a Galileo taunt. So it could come down to, you know, Galileo messing up his ultimate, and then you can have Janna use hers to reset everything, and then Malphite engages, bam, knocks him up, and then they go in full on. And that could be a big thing right there. So there's really a lot of variables here. We're just going to wait and see how the players actually execute in team fights.
Minions have spawned.
Of course, another thing to notice is that you know, the actual laning phase is going to be a big deal. We could have a little bit of an engage here, and it's funny because they have a ward here. The thing about it is that Epic does not expect this ward placement in the bush, and it's not something you normally say, oh, this is going to be really bad, he's going to go ahead and do the engage, and he had no idea that was happening. He is going to get focused down. Plasma going down, Harmonious picking up that first blood. Now Coco in big trouble here. I think he's also going to die. No, actually, nice job getting away from that. Instead, picking up another kill now with 2 and possibly even 3. Can Rect get in there and make this happen? Flash being used, and bam, another kill. Harmonious picking that up with his Resolute Smite. This is looking actually really good for Ernst and Young already. I was saying that Epic wants to make sure they don't get ahead. Now, this is the problem with early aggression in the enemy jungle, is if you get seen like that and then everybody's waiting in the bush, you do run the risk of really putting yourself in a very bad position, and that's exactly what's happened there. I have to give big props to Ernst and Young. They put down that ward, and it got them 3 kills early on in the game. That's so great. It's perfect for them, and it's going to take Epic a lot to come back from that. So, okay, I was wrong. I saw him pick up the teleport. I really thought that he was going to go top because of that. Usually with teleport, you go top. Mid, you'll pick up like an ignite or something, since you're close enough to just walk to dragon areas. But no, he's going straight up mid for that. And you know, maybe Cassiopeia was expecting him to go top, and that's why she went top first. So they kind of pulled a fast one on these guys. Coco coming mid is going to be good. He does want to go against a Malphite rather than Cassiopeia. Look at that damage already being done. JB Ball, he's already picked up boots, a couple pots. He's going for gold per 5 first. He's actually going to go for that rather than going straight for his ability power items. Now, he could have technically picked those up and been fine with that, but I think he says, you know, screw it. I'm just going to go ahead. Not only am I going to have the advantage of these 2 early kills, but I'm going to pick up, you know, gold per 5 and really come out ahead. Now, he pulled him in there. He could have easily done an auto attack, but I think he was unsure of the range of the tower. He didn't want to take any tower hits. I think he safely could have done it and been fine, but of course he's playing it safe here, and that's fine. That's smart. He doesn't want to make any silly decisions. Okay, so Udyr, I think, will be ganking top here. Let's see if he can make anything happen. See if that is going to be successful. Same thing here for Shyvana, though. Once she picks up that blue buff, she'll most likely be heading over here to deal with Coco, as he is pushing up quite a bit, and this could be a nasty gank onto him if he's not careful. Let me take a look. Did he actually use... No, he did not use his flash in that early engage, which is surprising, by the way. And look at this. Udyr coming in from behind, going to stop that. Could be a nice little counter engage. Now with Lotto Attack lockdown, not really going to be able to stop her there, but does at least scare her off. Coco did take quite a bit of damage, though, from that, so it wasn't necessarily an unsuccessful gank. However, with those health potions that he gained, he's going to be good to go early on. Galio, look at this guy here. Meki Pendant. He's going to be picking up that really early chalice, so he'll have mana regen out the wazoo, you should say, you know, and he's just going to spam it out, try and farm up as much as possible, and that's not a bad lane versus Cassiopeia, to be perfectly honest. And you notice here she did switch lanes because I mean it just makes sense. You really do want to play Cassiopeia against Nautilus. Bottom lane has Shyvana coming in. They may have actually seen... Yeah, they have ward. So no problem from getting ganked by her there. They have a nice ward on that. And Coco already getting a great grab on here. Galio going to come down, try and make a play here. He doesn't have anything to really engage on that with, however. No ultimate as of yet. They are switching those lanes up. And so he's going to just hang out here mid, try and do his best to just, you know, sit there and farm. There's nothing wrong with that at all. No wards up top here, so this could be a good gank spot for Shyvana if she's able to come in. And, you know, I don't know. We'll see if Coco actually decides to push that out. Another switch. And no! Rekt is going to say, no, sir, you better stay in that lane, or I'm going to come up here and punch you in the face. And that's exactly what Udyr does. Looks like he punches people. He kind of slaps them around a little bit, like, you know, slaps them left and right whenever he does the little tiger stance thing. That's what it kind of reminds me of. All right, what can you do, Shyvana? This is not the easiest thing. Shyvana, you know, her ganks are decent if she can get to somebody, if she can close the distance and land a combo. But that's the problem, is it's really hard to do so with her, especially before 6 when you can't jump to them with your dragon form. She does have exhaust. That's one thing that makes it easier for champions like Shyvana to gank, is you run up there, you put that exhaust down, and that does quite a bit of damage there. It's not bad at all. Interesting choice. Maybe Baller went for a Ninja Tabby. Now that's going to help him out a little bit against this auto attack damage. Of course, Coco is now not doing necessarily as well. He's been spamming out his Q as much as possible. Is that what he's leveling up first? No, actually he's not. He's leveling up his Ground Slam. So I guess the reason behind that, it does make sense. So he's going for the damage on Ground Slam with his armor due to the fact that Coco has to get in close range to want to do damage to AP Baller. AP Baller is just going to rely on the fact that he can run up to Coco, Ground Slam, and be perfectly fine with that. And it's working out for him. You notice he's got him down. He's able to push him out. And, you know, with going for Philosopher's Stone first, he's not going to have that extra AP to help him out with doing extra damage. So he's not going to be able to necessarily out-trade AP Baller. Not too bad overall. Now here we go. Harmonious could be going in for a kill here. He knows that she has no mana, so he's not afraid of running up and just auto-attacking her at this point. Good thing that he did back off, though, as there was Shyvana coming in. Although, I don't know, if Shyvana had actually fully engaged on him, Rekt was there, could have possibly done a nice counter gank. And look at this, down on bottom, Coco coming in, and almost looked like he was going to dive that. Would have probably been a bad decision, though, so good that he backed off on that. So far, it has been pretty close. I mean, other than the early 3 kills, we haven't seen anything yet. So technically, we haven't had our laning first blood at 8.5 minutes, and that's not bad. That shows that both teams are playing quite carefully. No one's really playing so aggressive that they make the mistakes getting caught. You know, in a sense, the mid lane is both very safe. Galio's a pretty safe laner. He usually can just use his Resolute Smite either to farm in some situations or to poke down your enemy while you auto-attack. So in a sense, it's kind of like Kassadin with skill shots, where Kassadin has to melee but is at the risk of getting hit. So he uses his Force Pulse to push back the enemy. And that's kind of how Galio does, except Galio has the option of AoE farm from long range, especially once he gets, you know, well into level 7 or so, to be honest. And look at that damage. He's going in. I don't think he can get the kill. He doesn't have any Ignite there. Oh, yeah, actually he does. Sorry. Yes, he does have the Ignite, so he flashes in. I was thinking about Nautilus not having the Ignite, so yes, he will go down. Unfortunately, dove in really far into that tower. Almost felt like he should have went around the other side, although he would have been picked up by Shyvana anyway, so possibly a good decision to just die there instead of dying to her, rather than giving that assist gold. Let's take a look at the farm here. I haven't actually pointed that out yet, but Corki is definitely winning this lane. I was expecting that since he does have a pretty easy time with a Soraka. Just going to be shoving that in as much as possible. Galio doing a great job of beating out Cassiopeia in farm. Not normally something you would see. I feel like possibly Cassiopeia is a little afraid of getting poked by him. So a lot of times when you see people missing creep score, if it's not because of just being bad at last hitting, it could be because of fear of either getting ganked or fear of being poked. So you give up a lot of last hits rather than taking that trade damage. And so while Cassiopeia can be really strong if you go like full mad mode and land everything, I think he's just trying to play it really safe. He doesn't want to give up any kills here. So that's kind of what I'm seeing, or what I'm feeling like he's going for the most part. Here we go. You know, yeah, I have to say right now, Rex is doing a great job of being everywhere that Lyrical is at, and I don't know if that's on purpose. But everywhere Lyrical goes to gank, it seems like Rex is right behind him for the counter gank. Not that his actually... Oh, there is a kill coming in on Coco. I think Coco might actually go down with that Ignite onto him. Nice exhaust. Lyrical comes in, gonna die to the tower, and Rex attacking him. So we'll have a double buff for Rex. Can he run in here and catch Ebby Baller? Nice flash for the stun. And I don't know, though. I mean, that's a lot of armor on Ebby Baller. He doesn't have much mana left, though, so will he get his shield back up in time? Doesn't want to die to that tower. Would have been a terrible decision to lose that double buff. I don't think he had enough damage to really take him out either. So overall, nice job staying alive. He's going to take out a few of those creeps, and he's going to have to get back to base before too long. Otherwise, you're going to see Rex come back around possibly. Although there is a ward there, so won't be seeing that. He is gonna have enough time to catch that for sure. Corgi really pulling ahead on creep score here. Doing a great job. Already has that BF sword. He's going to be a big problem coming into the team fights here. Haven't seen that dragon fight as of yet, but it is now around that 12-minute mark. In most competitive matches, that's around the time that you're going to see that dragon fight. Sometimes sooner, if all the stars align, I guess you can say. And here we go. Nice gank coming in. Flash right over that stun, right before Rect can get in there to actually land that on him. So, so I'd say really great play on that. Nicely timed. Usually, even with a flash, it's hard to get away from an deer running right at you. Oh, really low! Janet goes down to one last auto attack from the Corki. Really sick damage coming in there, and that's just one of those things. Once you get that BF sword on Corki, or really on any carry, that's kind of where things start to look up for you in the laning phase, and you become such a huge threat, especially to that enemy carry that is generally a lot squishier. Alright, here we go. Looks like Harmonious knows he doesn't have a lot of damage, so he's just going to kind of hang out here in the bush and do what kind of damage he can. Nice job there, though, using that Q onto the bush. Cassiopeia did kind of have an idea that was going to be there. They want to contest this as much as they can. No mana on Corki, so it's going to be hard for him to do as much damage as possible. Lyrical jumping in there, and a nice ultimate from Galio picks up two people. Harmonious is able to pick up Cassiopeia and wreck on the run with low HP. Lyrical will go down as he did jump into basically everybody. Dragon is reset, so we won't be doing damage onto Ernst and Young. And right now they are in a really good position. Nice grab from Coco. We'll pick up Ebby Baller, and there's the reset from Janna. Perfect timing, as that does save his life. Unfortunately, I think if Ernst & Young wants to, they can go ahead and pick up this dragon, and that's definitely going to put them in a really good position. They did take out 2 of Epic, where they lost nobody in return. So very good job on that overall. I don't think Janna's going to have any chance of stealing this dragon, just mostly doing some annoying tornado damage. I don't think Plasma Demon wants to jump over this. Oh, wow! Almost stealing that with his ultimate. Would have been a great grab. Just a little bit too late. They did smite that right before his ultimate landed, unfortunately for them. I would have loved to have seen that steal, though. That would have been one of those moments where you, as Ernst Young, would have just been like, no. And so Janna here trying to hold down the fort until Graves gets back. He did have to run back himself. A little bit of mana. I don't know. He may be waiting for a little bit of extra cash. Let's take a look. What was he going for there? Doesn't look like anything. Okay. He was standing there for idle a little bit. Sometimes if you almost have enough money for your next item, you'll just hang out there for it. But he's definitely not close to it. He's not very close at all, in fact. Only 957 gold. So he's going to be picking up that Bloodthirster as his first item rather than an Infinity Edge. Corki, I'm curious if Corki's going to go for the Cutie Pie build where he picks up a Black Cleaver. That is something that I've been seeing more Corkis pick up. Oh, no, actually he went straight for a Bloodthirster. So that's a little bit different. I've seen Corkis get Bloodthirsters, but normally you'll see the... Oh, wow, look at that ultimate from Cassiopeia. That was kind of like looked like a I'm scared of you ult. So I know she wasn't trying to kill Harmonious with that. So more of a defensive ult, and he turned his back before getting stunned by it. So not too good for Cassiopeia. She's really getting shut down in this lane if you look at it. 91 to 95. She's actually catching up on CS. I will have to give her credit on that. Oh no, not good. She's gonna get caught by Wrecked here as he is counter jungling her, stealing that blue buff. Really good job. I don't know if they're gonna stay here for that though. Could be dangerous. No, they got Coco here, so gonna be an easy time for them. And that's gonna actually hurt Cassiopeia quite a bit once they have that blue buff. And who smited that? I want to know. Usually you want to save that smite in case you're able to... Well, I guess he's not too worried about it. They know where everybody on the map is. So that smite's not too big of a deal. Anyways, I guess I'll finish what I was saying earlier about Corki. Generally, you won't see Corkis pick up a Bloodthirster, at least as their first item. Normally as a later one, because you'll see that Trinity Force or the Black Cleaver as that pivotal item that you get first, which will really help you out a lot. So I'm curious what he's going to go for now. Let's see if he goes for a Trinity Force now as his second, other than his first choice of item. I'm thinking Trinity Force. With a Bloodthirster, you don't really want to go for a Black Cleaver after that. I think Trinity is a stronger choice, but you know, every player has their own style. And Corki is one of those diverse champions that can actually do that. They can actually pick up multiple... Oh, wow, that's a weird... he kind of like shot out his hook there, but it went right next to him, even though he's at point blank. That's not one thing about shooting some skill shots. It's weird, but it's... oh, wow. Before I finish that thought, though, there was a little bit of a Harmonious trying to go in and kill Cassiopeia here. Almost did that, but nice job from Lyrical coming in for the counter kill. Wasn't actually able to kill him, though. She just couldn't do the damage. He's so tanky right now. Especially with that shield of his own. He is quite a lot of magic damage. You wouldn't think that would help him out enough. He's got 70 armor, even though he has no armor items. So you can tell he definitely has a lot of that from his masteries and whatnot. I don't know exactly what bonuses he has, as in spectator mode you can't really see the exact plus amounts, but either way that just shows that he's gonna definitely be super tanky this game, not going full out AP. Sometimes you see Gallios that go for that full ability power, but it makes more sense in his lane that he's going for magic resist, and it's showing that it's really helping him out a lot. AB Baller, he's like having a hard time here against Udyr. It's good as the jungler comes in here, pushes him down half health. He has a choice. Hey, do I stay around and be weak against my lane opponent, or do I go back? And that's exactly what he's going to be forced to do, is go back. So no more kills yet since the dragon fight. They will most likely have the timer for that dragon, and they're going to be looking forward to picking that up. Galio, really big threat to Cassiopeia right now. She's just doing her best to keep up on farm, and she's not doing a bad job necessarily. As long as he doesn't die another time, I think he's actually not necessarily losing the lane bad. I mean, he is behind on farm a little small amount, but I think that if he continues to play it safe, he will eventually catch up, because either Galio is missing CS from being aggressive, or she's actually starting to pick up more from just having the, being higher level and having that higher damage on spells. Could be a little bit of both, I don't know. That is one thing you have to kind of juggle as someone in the laning phase is, do I miss CS to harass, or do I always go for creep score first. In a lot of cases, it's actually more important to go for creep score than harass. It just depends on how much you can harass your opponent, if you can actually get them down to a point where you can kill them, and if you're forcing them to miss TS. If you're harassing them and missing TS, but you're not forcing them to lose creep score, you're actually hurting yourself a lot more. Coco doing a great job of actually pushing these lanes down. He still has not gone for any ability power items, so could be going for full tank. He does have those two. Yeah, he is going for full tank. He's going for the Aegis. So basically the same build you would see most Nautiluses go for as a jungler, where you go for a Philo, Heart of Gold, and then Aegis. Sometimes you can see somebody going for that build and then go for something like a Woda and then an Abyssal, and that gives you kind of a really tanky AP build. I think that's probably my favorite Nautilus build personally, is going for that first tanky and then AP tank, AP/tank. So it works out quite well, especially if you have other ability power champions on your team that can make use of the Woda. Oh man, that could have been really bad. There was all three of them there ready to pick up that Soraka. He decided not to engage on that, however. I'm not sure if they were kind of afraid of that situation, but yeah, if Soraka had face checked that bush, she would have definitely gone down. And there is the perfect timing on Dragon. They are all ready to go there. Ernst and Young, wow, big damage coming down onto that Soraka. She's going to have to get out of there, hopefully heal herself up and be good to go. And at the same time, up top, Coco does take down AB Baller. And so they're doing a great job. Not only do they get a kill top, they get that Dragon uncontested by Epic. Epic is in such a terrible position right now. If you take a look at the money, they are just hurting for it right now. They have, I mean, everything right now is just looking down for them. Ever since the beginning of the game, and I think from the team comp alone, I think it could have been different though. I really feel like Epic could have had a much easier time if they didn't give out those 3 kills early on, and it could have been a little bit closer. It's just that things don't always go in your favor. You take risks in this game. You got to risk it to get the biscuit, they say. But sometimes those risks, they don't work out for you. They work against your favor, and that's the whole part about playing League of Legends. And here, the tower getting low, staying a really long time. And Janet wants to reset that, flashing out to try and escape, using that cleanse to get out of the stun. Will she make it alive? All it takes is one more, and she will go down. Doesn't seem like he wants to dive that, though. With an Oracle's up on his head and being ahead on kills, there's no reason to be overly aggressive against the Janna, who's not going to be worth that much gold, especially considering if you were to die. And perfect that he did not. With these guys running in here, this could be really bad. Oh, well, nice flash to get out there. And here comes the teleport, though, to help out. Let's see if Coco can make a difference. And it may have been for naught, because I don't think that he's going to make... Yeah, all he's going to do is scare him off. And in fact, I don't think they would have chased anyways. He could have just easily stayed top lane and pushed that tower down. Probably would have been the best choice, but at the same time, I think he had the right intentions of helping out the team. If there had been a team fight breaking out, then that would have been the perfect opportunity for them to kill a few people, push that bottom lane down, and really secure their victory there. All right, now looking for a Baron pretty soon, as it is about 22.5 minutes. And Ernst & Young is in a really good position. Of course, they do want to take down these towers first. That's the main thing. I don't know if they're going to attempt that before they take mid and top. Generally, you do want to take those towers down before you make that attempt onto Baron. I will say the one thing Epic has going for them is that they do have those towers up. Nice little grab attempt, trying to pick up Lyrical. That was a blind grab, though. Didn't actually see where he was at in the bush. AB Baller now does need to get out of there. There's 3 people here. And with ultimate coming, and a nice grab on top of that. He could possibly go down. Here comes the taunt from Galio, and bam! He will be melted. And Lyrical do not want to lose that Oracle, so he jumps over the wall. Has the Ignite being used, so that's good. Does get that Ignite out of the way from Galio, and does keep his Oracles. So overall, good in his favor, but bad for the team. They lose 1 and the tower. Bottom lane not faring too much better either, as you notice Corki is going for that Trinity Force, has 2 of the 3 items built up. Graves working his way up to some attack speed at this point now that he has his Bloodthirster built. He will be going... Wow, look at that burst coming in. Just one Q from Corki took a big chunk out of his HP. It's really hard for him to actually lane against him at this point, since you know, Janet has to put down her shield onto Plasma Demon before getting attacked by Corki in order for that to be really successful, whereas Plague can take damage and then get healed right back up from Soraka, and it's not too big of a deal. And honestly, her infuse, you know, it's not a big deal, even though it doesn't give her mana anymore. I don't think Soraka really runs out of mana that bad. They made the change to try and, you know, make her a little bit more mana dependent, but honestly, I've never really seen Soraka's run out of mana that often at all, to be honest. Maybe later on in you know, long drawn out situations, but as far as the laning phase is concerned, I think Soraka is still pretty strong. Alright, so there's the pings going down. We do have some movement towards the Baron area. This could be bad for Coco, though. He is there all by himself with 4 on the chase, and none of his allies are behind him. He is so tanky right now that it's at least allowing him to stay alive. Can he make his escape? They don't want to tower dive this. Doesn't seem like they're going to make it. They possibly could have taken him down if they had tower dove that. Unfortunately, they don't know where the rest of the team is. So, you know, for all they knew, they could have been right here coming in already, and that's just not a risk you always want to take. Of course, being behind 2-10, it's possible that sometimes you do want to take those risks and make a big play. You have to be really, when you're behind like this, you really do. You have to be aggressive and you have to make plays. You've got to make decisions that are going to win the game. Otherwise, you're just going to slowly get farther and farther behind. And looks like Janet is going to go down. 3 people dive. Yeah, no chance for her. Both Graves and her die on bottom. This is just getting out of control right now. I don't think that the, you know, Epic guys can hold in much longer. With a 10 kill disadvantage, 10k gold behind, 2 dragons behind. With the timer, you're getting your buffs stolen. It's just a situation. Also, the team comp itself, I feel like, is weaker. So even if the game was even, I don't think would be doing necessarily that well. So really, the odds are against them. They're gonna have to make a miracle happen. If I were to be in their situation, I honestly don't know what I would do. Maybe I'm not that good enough a player to predict, hey, this is what they need to do right now. But right now, I just personally feel like it's kind of a very scary position for them. They made you know, some really good plays. Or Epic and Young has made some really good plays this entire game, and Epic just needs to probably come back, make it strong in the next one. We'll see how it goes, though. Now, technically, if Epic gets a good Baron fight going, you know, clears out Epic and Young, or Ernst and Young in a Baron, then that could be a good comeback attempt. Now, right now, they're going for this. There is no vision for Ernst & Young. I'm knowing that they probably have an idea. They did pick up that dragon, and you see that the 2 tanky guys here are coming in. They definitely don't want to stay on that Baron. That would have been a scary situation for them to do. Lyrical now at half HP, so if they do start Baron, it's going to be harder for them to actually stop it. I like this. So I was mentioning I was hoping that Coco would go for some ability power. He did go for the Abyssal Scepter. So he does have that tanky AP setup. There's the flash being used by Soraka. Will keep herself alive. Coco, or I don't know, either one of these guys can probably sit back and zone out. Lyrical now in a bad spot. Gonna get grabbed with the hook from Coco. And on the run now with such low HP. Doesn't want to lose that Oracles. Will luckily for him make it out alive. They did stop Baron though, so that's in their favor. But flash is being used all around.
Shut down.
Ultimate being used to kind of reset that fight. On the other hand, though, Corki gets shut down, and that's a great job, I have to say, at the same time by Cassiopeia. So Epic does get something out of that. She gets 363 gold, a little bit of a killing spree there. Now, if they can make wins like that, it's not going to be easy, but they could potentially come back. They just need to keep getting kills here and there, stop those Baron fights from happening, possibly even pick up a Baron if Ernst & Young does leave that open. Unfortunately, though, they did lose another dragon in that whole fight. So, yes, they did get a kill, but they still came out behind. They lost 2 flashes. And overall, I'd say Ernst is still in a great position to pick up the next Baron. Excuse me. Shirelius now for Janna could help them out quite a bit to either escape or to engage in a fight. Of course, I feel like Epic is not really the engaged team. If they full-on engage Ernst & Young, they would probably just get laughed at and taken out. They have to do more kiting and splitting up. And that's actually what happened there. They chased, Ernst & Young chased, and Corki got caught by Cassiopeia. Corki's going to be really strong, but without that front line, he is very vulnerable to being picked up. They have a really strong team for killing Corki. It's just the rest of the champions that are going to be a big issue. Oh, wow, look at that Galio. Now that he has, he has quite a bit of tanky stuff. 192 magic resist. Boom, death cap. So, going to be putting out that burst as much as possible. Now, what they want to do, I think, at this point is Epic has to get the late game. They really do. Because Cassiopeia, she's one of those AP carries that doesn't necessarily fall off late game. Shyvana, she's great late game. Janna is great all game. Graves can be pretty strong late game. Not as strong as some of the other carries. So I'd say Corki's actually a stronger late game carry for sure than Graves. This guy, I don't know. If they had more late game champions, I'd say they would have a better chance late game. I just feel like with Malphite, who will pretty much become next to useless as the game gets going. And Graves is pretty good if he gets ahead, but I don't know. He's going to have some really strong items to do so. And against this team with as tanky as they are, it's going to be hard to say. I don't know. Whereas these two guys, they can technically fall off, but they're so tanky that it doesn't matter really. All they have to do is just hold it up while Corki kills everything. Corki will carry everything on his own. He has enough, armor stripping. I'd like to see him get either a wit's end or a... Oh man, that was really bad. He almost got caught there. Nice little hook, but it was kind of weird. I think that's I don't know what happened. Oh, Lyrical jumping in the middle with no HP, not the best move, and does go down extremely fast because of that. Wreck picking up the kill. So now 2 down for Epic. And just, once again, Ernst & Young pulling themselves farther and farther ahead. They could possibly push this, but I think they're going to go straight for Baron. Yep, so what they're doing right now is they're going to say, hey, we're going to get a free Baron out of that. And you can try and come stop us. And if you try and come stop us, we're going to turn around and kill you. But if you don't stop us, we're just going to get a free Baron, and we're going to push anyways. So either way, you lose. It's a lose-lose situation for Epic right now. I felt like Shyvana was frustrated and just jumped in kind of without thought of her own life. She was really low when she did so. It wasn't the best move. So it's not something you'll see players do like when they're thinking clearly, of course. All right. Everybody is just kind of going to their own jungle. They're going to pick up their buffs, possibly go back and buy some items. And this is normally what you see when you pick up a Baron, just playing it safe. You don't have to be crazy. You do definitely want to make use of your Baron buff. Okay. The one thing that you can generally expect people to do when they pick up Baron is they're going to go pick up their jungle. They're going to go back to base and they're going to buy. So, as the enemy team, if somebody gets Baron, your #1 concern is right away to go push those lanes out as far as possible. The reason for this is because, well, as soon as they get back, they're going to try and push in and they're going to try and take a tower. So if you can get all of your lanes pushing as much as possible and gain that lane control so that they can't just switch lanes quickly and finish you up, then you're going to be in a good position to at least hold out while that Baron buff is up. So yes, they do get that gold advantage, but you don't want to give up towers as well. That's the main thing with enemy teams getting Baron buff, is if you can at least hold them off from taking towers in addition, then you should be in a pretty good situation, I think. Oh, nice little grab attempt. Didn't actually pick anything up, hit the tower instead. Going Spider-Man on that. They should be able to hold off fairly well here. They've got some decent AoE, and Cassiopeia does have the blue buff. It's going to make it a lot easier for her to do so. Now, one thing I have to say that Ernst & Young has going for them is that they're all so tanky. they can actually pull off a nice tower dive. Now, the way they would do that is if they can get Cassiopeia and Graves grouped up like they are now, with like a nice Galio ultimate, that's where they want to go and do a full-on engage. If they can kill those two, rest of it is easy. There's nothing left for them to really worry about. Instead, they're just going to go ahead and back off, pick up that dragon. That's safe. It's easy. It's free. And this Oracles has been doing a great job for them. They've pretty much had that on wrecked for almost the whole game. How many kills or deaths does he have? Does he? He has 0 deaths, so he's had Oracles the entire time. No real... I mean, they've only got 3 kills, so you can pretty much just expect that to be the case. Take a look at what we got going on here. Got a little bit engaged. Nice job there. Corki putting up big damage, and I don't know why Cassiopeia was up in the front there, tanking all of that, while the rest of the team actually backed off. She was like, "Hey guys, let's do this." Not really working out for her. She does fall, crumbling into stone pieces. They do take that tower down. Janna now staying around with low HP, probably not the best choice either. And they're just gonna get another free tower out of this. I don't think they can defend this without their AP carry around. They're really low on damage. Graves still does not even have 2 sets of items built up. There's the engage. They're going to try their best. I think this is the final fight of the game right here. Lyrical goes down. They are able to easily kite this down. Tower not even really posing a threat to wreck at the moment. He is taking a little bit of damage from, but I think more damage from the enemy team. Now that they've taken out all the damage dealers, it's just going to be a push to the finish. I think they can probably finish it off here. They do have a wave of creeps coming in. They're going to take out the inhibitor. Let's see. There's a little bit of time left in Cassiopeia. She could probably come back and... Oh, there's the surrender vote. 4-0. GG out calls. And looks like we'll be going to game number 2.
Victory.
And I want to see how Epic can come back from that. Hopefully picking up more of a team comp that they can deal with Ernst and Young's strong tanky setup. And maybe they will not be so crazy early on with their engages. And we'll see how that goes.